No, no.
Oh.
Alright, so today is going to be a really interesting video because, as you know, we are newly engaged. So we're going to answer some questions, some that I found online, and some that I had asked my friends on Facebook to give me some questions, so...
I have no idea what any of these are, so I feel like it's a little unfair.
It's not unfair. Look, it's going to be fun.
Uh-huh.
Well, that's my Italian page. Okay. So this is called the Gart and Al Q&A video. So we're both going to answer these. What is something you would change about the other person?
When I'm always like, hey sweetie, you should do this or do that. I say that to try to help you, but you always go like, oh, now I don't want to do it. I'm going to be spiteful. I never want to do it ever again.
I feel like it's endearing.
It's something, alright.
What is something I could change about you?
Yeah, what about me? Lay it on me.
I wish you remembered to flush the toilet more often.
You get in the shower, you don't think about it.
I would immediately.
A couple hours go by, bada bing, bada boom, yellow. It happens.
That's so gross. You look like you're reading. Today we will.
Once upon a time, what food reminds you of your partner?
Mm-hmm. McDonald's reminds me of you. Just the whole franchise, like itself. Like just mainly fast food, like burgers and fries, but specifically like McDonald's.
That's sobering. The food that I think of when I think of you immediately come to my brain when I see sushi.
Aww.
Sushi is like, that's Al.
Oh, me.
Let me try that again. That's Al.
Okay. What's the nicest compliment you've What's the nicest...
I don't know, what is the nicest compliment I've ever...
What's the nicest compliment you've received from one another? Look, I can't read my own handwriting, alright?
I have two. I have the one when you talked about my eyes, which is very sweet, because usually I look at my eyes, I'm just like they're like a little like brown and weird.
They're beautiful.
I know, and like other people have told me that, but like when you said my eyes were pretty and you actually explained why, it was like, oh.
Now fucking do it again. Your eyes just look like the bottom of like a forest floor. Like they're so mossy and earthy tones
and muddy.
No, like the forest in like the middle of like a fairy tale, you know, where like fairies and like elk and shit roam.
Comment below if you see fairies in my eyes.
Okay.
The other one was you were like one of the first people to ever nail what nailed my art style down. Did a good job of like explaining what you liked about it, because most people just see it and it's just like cartoons, but you analyzed it to a deeper, meaningful way, and that made me feel pretty good because you were spot on about what I go for when I draw.
That's good. My answers. The first thing that comes to mind is literally like I think the first week that we were hanging out and you told me that you like how my smile's kind of crooked, and I thought I was like the only person that noticed it, but apparently not, and you said it was really beautiful and cute, and I was like, oh my god, no one's ever told me that before.
What's the most irritating trait of the other person? This is just straight up no cap, most irritating thing that you do.
Yeah, I like your use of the word no cap. Most irritating trait is that like you forget the smallest things. Why it's so irritating to me is because I'm the same way. I spend at least half of my day trying to look for my fucking phone. Like I am so forgetful. You forget like the little things, like flushing the toilet, or you forgot to brush your teeth for 2 days in a row, or things like that. I don't know, you're just...
Did I do that right? The hand under the...
What the fuck are you doing? What is going on?
Like sometimes I'd be like trying to unwind or like or whatever. I just like you know what? It's time for some Garrett time, and then I hear. in the background, and I'm just like, who could that be? I take my headphones off, I'm on the computer, and it's Al that's just like, give me attention.
God, I get it.
You're just like Hecate. You're a cat. You're a cat, and I love you, but you're a cat.
I accept this answer. What first had you drawn to each other? I already know my answer.
Was it Harley Quinn?
No! It was what first drawn you to each other, not what you first had drawn for you.
Can that not go in the video?
No, it's definitely going in.
What? Okay, yes. So what literally drew me to you?
Yeah.
Your art like had like a profound effect on me, and I'll never forget the first day we hung out, and we were going through their notebook, like all the paintings and stuff, and it was like they showed me a couple things, and they're like, how does this make you feel? What's the meaning behind this? And
I like to get philosophical.
it was that picture of like a red spirit thing and like a blue spirit thing, like in like the void. Oh, it's like a you have to pick one, you know, one of these emotions, and that has to be what you, that's like how you, that's what you wear for the day. It was just, like I said, it was very powerful, and it made me think about like me too. And that's what I meant when it had like a profound effect on me, because there's not a whole lot of people that I personally knew that drew art that was like, ooh, that hits me where I live, homie, you know?
It really makes you think.
Literally really makes you think. I liked it a lot. And also, you were very attractive.
Yeah, you literally were like, and I quote, you got hot.
What can I say? I got the moves. They got the grooves.
You're one of the very few people that actually listen to me and don't just be like, okay, yeah, Al's rambling on about whatever. You actually listen to me, and you're just an active listener, especially when it comes to just shit that I'm just going off about, and I appreciate that. And also, we're both artists, and also what really made me decide that I liked you, and this is so stupid and maybe a little conceited, it was the fact that you kind of read my art style in the exact same way that I was thinking it.
Connected for free.
Education connection.
What do they do that gives your soul peace and makes your heart smile? Is that your answer?
No. The first thing that came to mind was sleep. Like, because you look so peaceful when you sleep, and when you're just unconscious. I told my therapist, I was like, every time that it's nighttime, I just kind of have the world to myself, and it really gives me an opportunity to be creative. And so I get in my little art mood, and then I like think about how beautiful the world is, and the first thing that I think about and see is you sleeping, and you just have a wonderful form. You don't look like that when you sleep. You don't look like that. You're beautiful, and you're a little angel. That's the other thing. Would probably be just like you showing your passion in a very raw form. So when you're talking about something you love or something you're very knowledgeable about, I don't know, it sets my soul on fire. Your turn.
There's a lot of just small things that you do.
Stop it. You're being such a
the little kisses that
buddy.
you give me, and like when we cuddle, just like kind of feeling that close connection with you is very, very much like, that's basically my fuel, because these last couple of months have been like really rough, and now more than ever it's made me appreciate like the small things of just like being able to hold someone and being able to say I love you to someone unconditionally. It's great. It's what I appreciate most about just having a healthy relationship in general. It's like feeling that level of safety with someone. And I hope that everyone gets that at one point in their lives, because most of us deserve it.
Give me that. How dare you make me feel my own feelings. What really interests me is the fact that after 3 days of us hanging out, you decided you would be like, do you want to go steady in the future? Like, what year is it, first of all? Second of all, you said I love you a week after we were together.
Oops. I still remember how I caught myself. Oh my god.
I heard you, but I tried to save your embarrassment by saying, what'd you say? And you're like, nothing. When did you know you wanted to marry me?
I knew I wanted to marry you pretty early on. Very early on. Like, within a year, I'd say. Maybe even sooner. It's like when anniversaries and like big milestones come around, it makes you think about, oh, how was my time within such a long span of months and days? Like, did I enjoy it? And I did. And I really liked it. And at that point, there's a lot of distance between us two. I really want this to work. It's just like tough now. We lived like 2 hours apart, and I was working a second shift job, so our schedules were just like not lined up at all. And if they were, we were, 100 miles apart. Maybe not 100, but a lot of miles. We used to joke, or I'd say like, oh yeah, I'll be there in 10 minutes. When Al said they missed me, but that wasn't possible. I couldn't have done it. It was a trick. It was a ruse. Well, that makes me sound like an asshole.
I feel like I have the exact same answer. I feel like I have almost the exact same answer in that I think I remember talking to Ray about how I wish that we could be engaged. It was like 6 months into us dating, and I was like, I really like this guy. I think he might be the one. I don't know. Before you, I was very cynical, so all these new feelings started flooding in, and I kind of just let myself feel them. And then, so I just started thinking about what our possible future could be together. I definitely think that we'll be together for a while. And then I beat you to it.
What are you looking forward to most about marriage?
Literally just calling you my husband.
Yeah, that's my answer too.
Because like nothing really changes, I guess, is that we're like legally bonded together, which is also fun. How did you feel about being proposed to? Because it's so untraditional, me proposing to the man.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it's something that I had a lot of nerves about for a long time. A little bit of a relief. Al cares about me enough to make that plunge. And even though I wanted to do something that was grander and it never materialized into anything that was worthwhile, it was, yeah, honestly, I'm happy the way it happened. And what something that you said earlier, which I'm sure most people know, is when you said I took the first step into starting the relationship, and then some poetic sweetness to you taking the next step.
So I just wanted it to be more personal, more fitting. I didn't want anybody else to be there. I just wanted it to be just us in a very intimate moment.
Either way, I still couldn't have asked for a perfect proposal spot, which was at my old campus, which had nothing but bad and anxious memories tied to it, so.
Because it made a happy memory there. I must specify that because in the last video, I kind of just left it off as, oh, I'm gonna go to the place where he was the saddest. I did that because I wanted him to have a happy memory, because every time we drove by it, I just would feel like that, and so I wanted him to be like, when we drove past it, I wanted him to look at it and be like, yeah, that's where Al proposed to me. That's where I got engaged. Instead of just, This is something my sister asked.
Are you gonna have kids after you're married?
She just went right into it.
We're gonna wait a little bit. We're gonna see how things play out, because there are different reasons why it wouldn't be advantageous to automatically have a kid after marriage. We talked about maybe possibly waiting a year or maybe longer, depending on where we were, because it's something that, like, we both talked about, like, hey, we gotta assess where we are in life before we feel comfortable with, like, bringing in someone else.
We don't know where we're gonna be in the next couple
exactly.
years. As far as having kids, just in general,
I'm excited about it. I still think I need to figure out more about myself before I'm, like, 100% on board with kids, but I've been thinking about it more than I used to, like, positively, instead of, like, doom and gloomy about it. What if this happens, what if that happens, you know. And then I got more comfortable talking about it, and I feel a lot better about it.
Yeah, and of course, like I said, we don't know where we'll be in the next couple of years. Hopefully we'll be in a good spot. And I don't know if we'll, like, directly have children after. That's really just for the universe's plans for us.
Mm-hmm.
What is your ideal wedding venue?
My aunt's house.
Yeah, we talked about it, and we were like, do we want an actual venue, or do we want to get married at one of his family's house? And upon further thinking, we decided to get married at his Aunt Lena's house.
Like, I have a lot of happy memories associated with that place. It's a pretty good location, and there's also a lot of pretty things. It's they live on a farm, and they have a pool.
Yeah, we're gonna go swimming in the middle of fall.
It could be swimming weather. Thank you, climate change. Okay, so do you think you're gonna have anyone in your family that sees us get married and they're gonna be like, oh, him? He doesn't make enough.
What? No! No, my family's not really judgmental like that, to be honest. I think all of my family loves you.
My family?
Yeah, I already know the question. I already know the answer.
I think everyone that matters approves. What are 3 things on your bucket list that you want to do with me?
I want to travel out of the country with you. That's one thing. Duh, I was gonna be like, I want to get married. I want to get some sort of matching tattoos.
We just talked about that today.
I know, and I know that you're not a tattoo person, but maybe in the future you'll change your mind. That's why it's a bucket list, is because we have to do them before I die.
Yeah, before you hit the bucket.
I think it's kick the bucket.
You can hit it. It still spills. We all spill eventually.
And I want to travel with you. I want to, like, be bougie and go to, like, a 5-star hotel.
Oh, that does sound fun.
And just live our best life. What's wrong with you?
And bubble.
Alright, what's your 3 things?
That road trip, I'm stealing that one. Can I steal that one?
Of course.
I really like the road trip idea. It would be something that'd be really fun to do. It's just, like, drive and travel. Go to, like, local restaurants. See what they're about. Like, ask the locals, like, hey, got any good burger joints?
You got any drugs?
Don't ask the locals that. Then we'd end up in the local jail. Something else I'd like to add on my bucket list. Do more art collabs with you.
Okay. This is your bucket list? It's so boring.
What do you mean? Fine.
Bucket list is like shave your head, go bungee jumping, kill a man.
Okay.
It's a bucket list.
Road trip. First one. Second one. I've never been on an airplane before.
You want to be on an airplane with me?
Yeah. And third thing I want to do is, I was going to say go to a coastal beach with you, but literally that's just road trip.
No, not exactly. It doesn't have to be.
A California beach or a...
The first thing that came to mind when you said that was Antarctica. Does that really count as a beach if it's ice?
I don't know.
I bet there's sand
Somewhere.
beneath all the ice.
In the ice blocks. Well, I mean, we'll find it eventually. Thank you, melting ice caps.
You're getting really... what is happening to you? Why are you getting so existential about the Earth?
This is my platform to make everyone as anxious as me.
Alright, I think that is a good place to stop with the questions. Thank you for everybody that did submit questions. If you have any more, feel free to comment below for maybe a couple engaged couples.
This was fun. I'd like to do it again. They don't have to be like serious relationship questions next time, but
no,
like,
they can be stupid questions
yeah.
like who poops more?
Yeah, who poops more?
You.
You do.
Yeah, probably.
You really do.
Hey! You got a big head.
You got small ears.
Well, you have big ears.
You have a weird head.
At least my head isn't the size of a fucking basketball.
At least my full head is rounded. Bye.
Bye.